Just all right. Finally, it's time for the mukbang. Today we're doing Domino's. So, got the cinnamon twist with the icing. See that? These babies right here. It was 50% off all pizzas until tomorrow, so that's why I did Domino's online only. So I got the extra large. No meat, all veggies, extra cheese, pineapple. I'm gonna have to heat this up because it took a minute to get up here. Then I got the handy dandy water and iced coffee. Got this too, but I'm probably not gonna eat this. All right, and I'm sitting on the floor because I'm not wearing pants. I'm not gonna put pants on. So, all right. Amen. All right. I'm about to heat this up. One sec. All right, warm pizza, and we're back. So I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about. Probably just sharing stories, things. Who knows? Okay, let's see. Well, since the end of the year is coming up, let's reflect over the end of the year, or the year as a whole. So for me specifically, I always said that I can't wait to turn 30. My 30s is gonna be way better than my 20s. Just because the 20s were like, I mean, really. So I was so excited to turn 30. And luckily, I was surrounded by all my siblings, my best friends. It was a great 30. And that was back in May. So now in November, almost December, I still feel like it's been a great couple of months of being 30. Like, I am still excited about my 30s. I'm excited for next year because I made it a goal, not like a New Year's thing, just a goal to step outside of my comfort zone. Excuse my voice. Step outside of my comfort zone and be more collaborative because I think that'll help, my business big time, but also me. Socializing is not my thing, but I think if I were to engage and like even attend like social things and find genuine people that I do bond with within that, it'll be worth it. So the goal is to be more collaborative, to be more social, to put myself out there more, to not be so like reserved and within. Now I'm only trying to do this for a year. Depending on how it works out next year, we'll see what happens going forward. But I'm just naturally like introverted and I'm a homebody. Yes, I like to travel. I like to be everywhere, but I like to do that like alone. well, I don't say I like to do it alone. It's just that because I've done it so long alone, it's a comforting thing. And the one time I tried to do it with the next friend, it just didn't turn out to be what I wanted it to be. So, you know, we'll see though. I'm excited. I'm excited. How about y'all? Tell me what y'all are doing. What's the goal for next year? I know there's gonna be a lot of them, but you know, what's something that you really want to work on for next year? I don't believe in that whole like New Year's resolution thing. A lot of us humans give up so quickly when things don't go our way, or we can't see the finish line, right? And then we're like, oh, we'll just start over next year. Like there'll be those memes by the time it hits February, March. Yeah, this year isn't turning out how I want it to. We'll try again next year. You still have how many months left? Stop giving up, people. Be relentless. Be persistent. We get the one life, and you might not have next year. We never know when God's gonna call us home. So, but I'm just pushing outside of my comfort zone because I feel like I'm in a season of me. Just me working on me, dealing with me. How can I be a better me in different situations, family, friends, you know? Definitely, like I say, I'm definitely not looking for a relationship or trying to, but you never know. Like, you don't have to be looking for something for things to just pop up. So I say I'm open, but then I'm not like actively looking for that. You know, this season of me is just literally just me bettering myself in every way, shape possible. And then maybe we'll see what works out in 2024. I just don't see that for 2023. And I don't want this to be a long ass video. I'm thinking 25-30 minutes, but I'm gonna just be talking about a bunch of random things. So, real quick, instead of Alfredo, I do the garlic Parmesan sauce because fake Alfredo is just disgusting. It's just some sauces you can't like. I hate fake Alfredo, but that garlic Parmesan sauce, it's hard. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all know what I mean by fake Alfredo. That it's so thick it looks plastic type shit. Mm-mm. In a bag. Mm-mm. Some people do the fake right. Some people do. Some a lot don't. But anyways, so I was talking to my sister the other day, and we were talking about friendships. And how you outgrow people. And it's weird because we grew up in a small town. Rayford, North Carolina. Rockfish, to be more specific. I don't care how you feel about it. Rockfish, North Carolina. And you know, country towns, like you make lifetime friends because it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows each other's families through church, through whatever, going to different sporting events, games. And so sometimes when you grow up with these people, you can only, some things only, you can only take things so far, right? it's just, it's good to grow with people, but then it's a weird, how do I put this? I don't like to ramble. I'm trying to word this. For me personally, it's weird when you grow with somebody and then you see yourselves growing in different directions. Um, and it's not to say like your life isn't meant to go in different directions, because you don't have all the same interests. Like, you're going to pursue different things, but for the most part, you guys will have that glue, that foundation that's been built since grade school, you know? And that's, I had one friendship that was like really hard for me, um, because we had literally been through the stages of teenage years, um, your adult years, you know, the early 20s, whatever, and then your real adult years and real life, real situations. We had been through a lot of that. And to reach a point where you're like, this isn't going to work out for both of us. Like, you're heading somewhere that I can no longer go down. Like, this path is like closing off for me. It's not meant for me to be a part of anymore. And that's no shade or anything, or because I'm sure she felt the same way in a way. I'd say I think she was fighting a little bit harder for the friendship, but than I was. But I have this thing, like, when I know I'm done, I'm done, and I don't like to string people along. I've never been that person. I'm not gonna string you along, um, because my heart's not in it, my energy's not in it, and I'm not gonna do it. Like, it doesn't benefit me or you, and I've had karma because of that in one particular situation. Um, so, but it's just weird to me how, because for me anyways, I expect that with like family, because everybody's different, but it's just like your friends or the family you get to choose, right? And then to see that it doesn't last, especially when you felt it was so genuine and so real, um, because of different paths and different choices, it hurts. And I was just talking about that with my sister, because she's going through something a little bit similar, but just for all, just to share that, it's just like, when it has to happen, it has to happen. Don't fight it. The more you push, the more you try to pull back and ground something that no longer is into something from the past. A lot of people, and I think I was in that for a while, and I didn't even realize, it was just like, well, we have this foundation because of this. So as long as we go back to this, but that was what, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, what have we added to the foundation since then that was positive and productive? The past matters, but you can't always, if that's the only thing that's holding you down, is years, time, the past, and nothing since then. I don't know. I'm not with. I'm not with. I'm not like heartless bitch. That hurts. That hurts. I just don't dwell on it. That's sad about my acquaintances and friends throughout my life thus far. Only two, I was really like, damn. Damn. That's all I could say. It was just like, damn. How's his life? His life. Oh yeah. You know, especially when it's hard for you to make friends. Mm. So I'll say this. Just quick backstory. My parents were in the military. We only moved once, and that was I was like a baby then. We were living in Texas. I'm born in Texas, Abilene, Texas. Anybody from Abilene, Texas out there? Don't know much about it. Visited once. Um, my parents were in the military, and I was born out there. And then my dad got stationed at Fort Bragg in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And that's where my siblings and I grew up. My sister was born in North Carolina. My two brothers. Yeah, so we didn't do a lot of moving around. So I spent majority of my childhood, elementary, middle school, in Rockfish, North Carolina, Rayford, North Carolina. And then in middle school, my parents divorced. And that's when the bouncing around started. That's when it was kind of like, you're a preteen, you're trying to discover who you are. And I was very much a people pleaser. I was very much trying to like fit in. I wanted to be the it girl. I did in middle school. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be those stupid things. And I just wasn't. I wasn't. I think the more I strayed away from myself, the more annoying I was to people. But I just didn't want to be, I didn't embrace my weirdness then. I didn't embrace my uniqueness then. The way other people were just naturally like cool and attractive and things. I was going through puberty, pimples, short bob perm hair. My hair started breaking off, and it was a lot. There was a lot trying to navigate all that. Plus divorced parents, plus now money on both sides is virtually nothing, and so what you were used to, we were definitely spoiled growing up. That like ended overnight. And then high school came, and I was in Fayetteville primarily. Well, no, I was in Fayetteville, yeah, for high school. My freshman and sophomore years, I went to this high school called Massey Hill Classical. And then for my junior year, I lived in Mississippi with an aunt. And then I came back to Fayetteville, and I did my senior year in Cape Fear High School. And so essentially the friends that I had made in middle school, we didn't really like keeping in touch once I was just like in school in Fayetteville. And not to, if you know Fayetteville, Rayford area, like it ain't far from each other or anything, but it's just a lot of schools, a lot of kids. The major high school at the time, the one high school at the time for Hope County, which is Rayford, Rockfish area, whatever, it was just Hope High School. So everybody from both middle schools at the time in East West Hope, in Hope County, they all went to, like, if from elementary to middle to you ended up at Hope High, basically in Hope County. But then in Fayetteville, there's like boo-hoo high schools. So I didn't really keep in touch with a lot of those friends. And I made new friends in my high school or whatever, but it wasn't easy. Still trying to fit in, still trying to not fit in, but just find my people. That was, I think high school was when I was starting to embrace me and just find my tribe. And I'll never forget this one dude and this one chick, like, and the chick is the one I'm not friends with anymore, but And the dude, I haven't seen him in years. I don't know. But they were like, they were my people. They were my tribe. Like, for sure, down, laughs, the whole thing. And then I left and went to Mississippi. I didn't really make friends out there. That was a culture shock. That was a whole different situation, whole different like people, all of that. And yeah, I was not ready for Mississippi. Neither was my sister. It was so funny. I used to get made fun of. They were always like, "Why do you guys talk like white girls? Like, why do you like talk like?" Nobody had ever told me that in North Carolina that I talk like a white girl when I went to Mississippi, for sure. And then coming back for my senior year at a completely different high school, where I didn't make friends with anybody. Maybe like one or two people, but that was just. I would like during lunch, like I didn't have like a group or anything, like nobody. So I would just go hang with one of the teachers, the culinary teacher at the time that was there. Yeah, I wasn't invited to like parties or anything. It was like my last year. I didn't know anybody. They had all been friends and known each other since, you know what I mean? Like it was already like tight knit groups and things. And yeah, grade school was just rough. Grade school was so rough. But anyways, making friends and stuff like that, it has never been easy for me. So when I do make genuine connections, as far as friendships are concerned, and even relationships, when I make genuine connections, when I feel like it's real and there's something there, it's hard to let go of sometimes. I've been better about that in recent years, but it's just like I'm not the person to go out there and be like, "Hi, my name is," or "Hey, we should hang together." Like I'm not that person, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And I'm not good at pretending to care either, so. But honestly, I think it worked out in my favor in my later years. I feel like I'm one of those people, because I didn't pop off when I wasn't, because I wasn't popular, because I wasn't like this or that, or like nobody cared. Like in my later years, like getting attention was like, "Oh, so that's what that's like. Oh, okay." And then for me personally, I've grown into my looks. I've grown into my body, like later on in my later life, because before it, for me anyways, I was just like whatever. I don't know. I just feel like I personally get better with time, mentally, physically, spiritually. Like, yeah, the more I learn, the more enjoyable self-care, life, makeup, and all these cute little things, traveling, all this stuff. The more I take on, the more I learn, the more it's just cool. It's just cool. It's cool to blossom later in life. It's all right for those, if you happen to be like a teenager, preteen. It's okay to like come into your own later in life. It's fine. Don't be so bent out of shape if you're not part of, the anything right now. Man, it's so good. See, the thing is, I eat tuna and rice, or tuna and quinoa, soup, variations of noodles, and sandwiches here and there. Like, I don't really cook for myself because I don't care to cook for myself, even though I can cook for myself. I know how to cook. I don't know. it's just, man. Mm. I eat healthy majority of the time. I haven't had Domino's since last winter, I don't think. No, I lied. Since the summer? Yeah. But I would get like, I'm a fan of thin crust, but this is an extra large pizza, and they don't do extra large thin crust, if I'm not mistaken. And real quick, because people have asked about what I did as a seasonal worker, what I do as a seasonal worker. And right now, I am in transition, but I will say before, so I went to culinary school in Charlotte, North Carolina. Went to school for culinary management, bachelor's degree, finished that in 2013. So from 2010 to 2013, I was at Charlotte, North Carolina in culinary school. Got out of school and I thought I was just gonna take over the culinary game. I was just so like about it. Love cooking just because I'm greedy and I love the creative side of it. And I really wanted to work on a cruise ship, but I am severely anemic, so they took that as an issue. To this day, I'm severely anemic. We out here, baby. Cold as shit. So when I finished school, I moved back to Rockfish. And I was just, because graduation, we went by, what do they call it, quarters, summer quarter, winter quarter, whatever, fall quarter. So, and because, if anybody knows the Art Institute, well, the one in Charlotte at the time is closed now, but at the time, there weren't enough students to have a graduation every quarter, so they did it every 2 quarters. So I finished in the fall of 2013, but graduation wasn't going to be till the winter, and I was like, fuck that. So I didn't go to my graduation. I just had my diploma mailed to me because I was just like, it's September, graduation won't be till like December. I'm like, stupid. It's like I could be working somewhere making money, real money at this point. And I thought about cruise ships, but I couldn't get on because of health reasons, like I just said. And then I moved back home because I still didn't want to wait. And I was just like looking for different things to do. I was just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Blah, blah. And then I found this website, Cool Works. I'll put it at the bottom. Cool Works, whatever. It was a site for seasonal jobs, seasonal work. And I had never heard about seasonal work at the time. Didn't even know that was an option. And so my first job was in North Dakota as a front of house manager. I had never managed anything in my life. The jobs I worked in Charlotte were Sticky Fingers, Fats Cafe, Red Robin's Burgers, and Brugger's Bagels. Those were the 4 jobs I had in my 3 years. I had never, like, I basically worked I had done everything but bartend. I had served, I had hosted, I was a line cook. I just didn't bartend. I wasn't a manager, I just had a management degree. But these people in North Dakota were like, fuck it. We'll help you, we'll get you the experience. So that's where it started. So initially, my beginning years of seasonal work, working in hospitality, different states, just after 6 months here, go somewhere else for 6 months or 4 months, whatever it is. That's what makes it seasonal work, basically. You don't stay there year round. Some jobs offer that, but some are only busy during certain months, so they have nothing for you once the off season hits. So basically started off my beginning years as in some type of management role, which is probably why I got burnt out so quick. I really should have, I can't even say that because I am where I am now, and it was a good experience. But being in management, like the first 3-4 years of doing seasonal work, nothing in my management courses throughout my time at my culinary school prepare you to deal with people and issues. I have never been that person. You either can or you can't, in my eyes. When it starts getting into feelings and I can't come to work today because my boyfriend broke up with me, or I can't do this or whatever, because I didn't know how to deal with that. So I was just telling people, okay, so are you coming to work or not? So are you doing this or not? Like, this is what it is, da da da. I made a girl cry one time. I wasn't trying to, but I was just trying to be blunt. I'm like, yo, it it was just the stuff that you see sometimes. Some line cooks, some of the females treating it like it was a fashion show, and then not wanting to like do certain things because they didn't want to ruin certain bits, wearing jewelry, which you're not supposed to do. It's just, I was just not prepared to deal with people. Their personal problems, their drug problems. I had never been exposed to that, and I had no idea how to handle that. So management years are rough, and by the time, I'd say up until 2 years ago, like for sure, I started transitioning out of that, because I went from management and I started transitioning to, oh, maybe I'd be more happy if I'm just not doing management, if I'm just doing regular cooking. The first thing I fell in love with, just worrying about myself, not worrying about a bunch of people. But even that became stressful, and it wasn't fun anymore. And I didn't care to be around people, and I didn't care about what I was cooking, what I was doing, and it definitely showed in the food. Definitely showed in the food. I just did not give a fuck anymore. So I just kept saying, oh, maybe it's time for a transition. Maybe it's time for that. And I was going back and forth. And then 2 years ago, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done. So I started slowly transitioning out of cooking into like different activities. I tried teaching overseas. I was an English teacher, English second language teacher in China for almost a year. That was cool. And I came back summer. I left winter, fallish winter of 2018. Came back summer, July 2019. And then COVID broke out, I think, that winter of 2019. And I think it was just over in Asia at first, which is where I was teaching. And I had planned on going back, but that was out of the question. So then it was back into seasonal work and hospitality. Like the biggest hang up for me was like, cooking is what pays my bills. Like all the other creative hobbies I have, they're not doing it. They're not bringing in anything real for me to like live off of and pay bills, but cooking was. And so it was such a stressful, like, oh, I want to leave this alone, but it's my life source, it's my support system, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. But since like 2 years ago up till now, like I have agreed when I work places and they see that's on my resume or whatever, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do now. I know I have, not as much experience in this area versus the cooking, the culinary hospitality aspect, but I'm not doing that anymore. Like if you need help, I can jump in anywhere and help you, but I'm not doing it anymore because it ruins my mood. Food comes out shitty because I'm not feeling it, and nobody deserves that. So I agreed to help, like whenever they need, like for special events or something. So that'd be like 1-2 days out of the week, maybe 3. But then I'm primarily doing something else. So yeah, that's that. And now I'm just trying to walk into this entrepreneurship world. My 30s are about collaboration, getting my business to a higher scale, and just working my butt off. Basically, just in a different, because and no offense to anybody out there who's worked job like 20, 30, 40 years and then was like finally I get to do something else. I get to live my real passion, because I went to a lot of school with like older adults that were like in their 50s who had been either like construction jobs, the military, whatever, and now they were going to culinary school to live out their true dreams, their true passions. Because before it's just like a paycheck and, you know, benefits and support, like old school generation. But I just knew I couldn't cook for like 20, 30, whatever years. I was like, I'm done at 10. I'm done at 10 years. Like, sorry. But initially, when I was fresh out of culinary school, you couldn't have told me that. I thought I was gonna be doing it forever. Nope. Burnt out. Don't give a fuck. So yeah, I know this has been all over the place. I'm sitting here eating all y'all faces. Oh, so good. It's good to eat a little junk here and there. Here and there. It's not completely junk, because everything on the pizza is healthy. Ish. Oh my goodness. This is, ooh, damn, we're already at 35 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. This was cool. If you like this, please let me know in the comments, and I will do another mukbang. I want to do Thai food though. So that Thai restaurant looks bomb, expensive, looks good. We shall see. All right. Bye.